Hey everyone, Nick Dearburst here teaching you financial modeling. Today we're going to be solving the lab exercise in the Python Basics section on data types. So that lab exercise is mentioned here in the Going Beyond Initial Python script slides at the end of the data types section, and the actual exercise is contained within the Python Basics Lab Jupyter notebook. So let's jump over to that. So this is within that notebook, the data types section of that notebook, and we have 3 exercises here to work on. So the first exercise here is to create a tuple with the values first and second, and then extract the value second from that tuple. So we can go ahead and create my tuple, and for tuples we use parentheses to define them easily. And so we're just going to put first and second in there, just like we would with defining a list, just with parentheses instead of the square brackets. And then we want to index that, and we can index that exactly like we index a list, again with the zero-based indexing here. So we want to get the second value in the list, and with the zero-based indexing, that's going to be index number 1. Running that, we are able to pull out this second value and show that there. So that completes the first exercise. Now, the second exercise, we want to create a dictionary where we have a favorite color and we have a second favorite color, and we have green as the favorite color and blue as the second favorite color, which are both true for me. So we want to set up this dictionary. So we can let's call it color preferences. And we want to have as the favorite color, we're going to have green, and as the second favorite color, we're going to have blue. And I knew to create it in this way and not with green over here and favorite color over here, because we want to be able to look up green by favorite color. So we want to be able to look up by this string favorite color, and so that's going to be the key, whereas the thing that we want to look up is going to be the value in the dictionary. So now we have that dictionary, and we want to then pull out the appropriate parts. We can pull out the favorite color, and we can also pull out the second favorite color. And so that way we'll get green and we'll get blue being printed one after another. So that's the second exercise. And coming to the final exercise in this lab, we ultimately want to extract this string from this very nested data structure. And so there's a couple of strategies that you could do here. What I think is definitely the most direct strategy is to use indexing and dictionary lookups to get to this item. It is possible to go at this using loops instead, but I think it is substantially more complicated to set it up that way. So let's look at doing an indexing kind of setup. So a nice way to approach this, there are a lot of lookups to be done here, but since we're working in Jupyter, Jupyter is interactive. You can run little things and just see the result of them. So let's kind of go step by step in doing this lookup. So we can start, we're going to need to look up in my data, and we can see that my data is a list. It's a list with a single item in it, and that item is the dictionary, which we want to keep going into. So if we pull the first item out of a list by doing the index 0, now you can see, just run that, and you can see you've gotten out of this next part. You've pulled this part out of the original list. So now we're just thinking about how do we work with this to be able to keep going down to ultimately get to here. So now this next layer is a dictionary. where the key is A and the value is another dictionary, which we're going to need to go into. So how do we get, ultimately we want to get here, and so we want to get to this part of it. And so how do we look up the value from a dictionary? We do brackets and then we give it the key. So by doing that, and then we can run that, we can see now we've stripped off this outer A part, and now we're at just this dictionary here with the B key. So next it's going to be very similar to the last step. Ultimately we want to get to here, so we want to get this dictionary value, so we can look that up by the key B. So then we add on that B there, and now we've gotten just to this value of this dictionary, which had B as the key. So now we're getting close. We can see the next layer here is a list, and we want to get to here, so we want to get this as the next thing, which is going to be the first item out of this list. So we can do a 0, and now we're down to just this final dictionary. So then it's just a single dictionary lookup. We want to look up this look me up key, and we finally get to you got it. So that is now the solution, just all these different nested lookups, one after another. So that's the lab exercises on Python basics functions. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.